Hi there, and welcome to the Perfume Shop's very first Wellness Wednesday. My name is Sarah, and I'm joining you from the Move Studio in Bude, Cornwall. So it'd be really nice if you could let us know where you're joining us from today. The class I aim to do today is a Pilates class for all levels, so no previous experience is required. If you would like to make your way onto your feet, that would be great. So we're going to just stand nice and tall, toes spread wide, and feel the ground underneath your feet. Find the length in your body. So guys, I just want you to start with a big breath in. And just allow the breath to come out of the body. Feel the shoulders soften. And let the crown of your head start to draw you towards the ceiling. And breathe. So I just want you to just be here for a moment. I know some of you may have a slight delay in the start of the class. A few technical issues were happening. So if you weren't quite prepared, if you were ready at 12 and just need to get yourself back together again now, then please do just have a moment to find that space. Bring in the breath in. And hosting the breath out. So I want you to first of all notice the soles of your feet, and can you just gently rock the weight forwards onto the toes? And then we just rock the weight back onto the heels. So here we bring the weight forwards onto the ball of the foot and onto the toes. We come back onto the heels. And as I come forwards onto the toes, I think about breathing in and growing. And as I go back onto the heels, I feel like I'm softening in the knees and rounding. My gaze comes down slightly. I breathe in, my gaze lifts as my hips and my heart open. I breathe out and I soften, coming into the shoulder. Then I find my centre, and the centre is with my weight just in front of my heels, but not quite onto the balls of my foot. Then I'd like you to place one hand at the very base of your skull. So this is where one hand would be, and then the base of the spine is the second hand. If I had a third hand, it would be around where my bra strap is. And this is I refer to as the back line of the body. So from here, we bring our breath in, and I transfer the weight through my feet, and I open into my hips and my heart. As my weight transfers back, I bend the knees and I round my spine, leaning into the hands as I round my gaze to my navel. Breath comes in and my hips open, my heart opens and I inhale. Exhale and I round and lean into the shell of my back. One more time, transferring the weight and moving into the front of the body, I breathe in. And breathing out to lean and come into the back of the body. Then I come and I stand in my legs. From here, my elbow goes across and up to the ceiling. My hips go across, and it's almost as if I'm hanging from my elbow, leaning into the side of my body. Gather the inner thighs and come back over the heels. We do that again, so we go to the side, the ribs and the hip, and I open, breath comes in to find the side of the body, and then gather to arrive back to centre. Windmill the arms round again, so now one hand is on the base of the spine, the other at the base of the skull. And I move my elbow across, it goes up as my hips go across. I lean into the side. Everything there, and then I use my inner thighs to come back to centre. We do that one more time. Elbow, rib, and hip lifting, opening into that left side. Gathering to come back, and the hands come back to the side. Turn your palms to the front and then start to lift the arms. They come all the way above your head. The palms come together. I then wrap my arms around me as I lean back. I pull my elbows down and then I stand in my legs to come center. Again, I breathe in and I lift and I rise. I breathe out and I lean into the back to find the stretch across the back of my body. One more. Inhale, I lift. And the out breath, I lean into the back. Standing nice and tall. So then I take my right hand and I bring it around my left shoulder. I move into the front of my body and then soften the arm down. It's like I've got a cloak and I cloak around myself, lifting into my hips and my heart, and then arrive back center. We'll do that again. Coming around and in front with the hip and the rib, the breath comes in, and we find center. Last time on the left, inhale, into the front of the body, open, and the arm comes down. So just depending on how you're feeling the lower back at the moment, you might choose to have your knees bent. But I want you to imagine that you're peeling your spine away from the imaginary wall behind you. As you let your arms hang, your head hangs, and we just start to make our way down to the floor. As I said, knees bent if the back's feeling vulnerable, that the arms are loose, the head and the neck are nice and relaxed. When you've gone down as far as you're comfortable, just take a breath in. And as you breathe out, you push the ground away, you lift through your center, and you start to stand in your legs, unraveling the spine and finding the center again. So center is with our eyes on the horizon and our weight just in front of the heels. So to roll down, I let the weight come slightly forwards, and I peel down, let the arms hang, and you'll feel a sense of length in the back of the body. Arms are loose, the neck is relaxed as you come down. Please bend those knees if you need to. And then from here, we push the ground away. And we start to stand in our legs again, gathering through our sitting bones. And just imagine we're lifting the front of the pubic or the lower abdominals up and behind the navel. I take my arms up through the center of my body, the backs of my hands come together, and I grow. And as my arms reach, I then push out with the heel of my hands, just open through the front of the body. So from here, my hands come down, my knees soften as I round forward. I let the hands come up through the center, unraveling into the front of my body, opening my hips. Opening my heart. One more time, rolling down and in with the hands coming up through the center, grow into the front of the body, and open your hips and your heart. One more time, just the same, down, round, then the breath in and we grow, pushing the heel of the hands away. We arrive and just pause here. Bring your hands to a fist and then draw the fists in to the side of your ribcage, the shoulder blades drawing back together. And then unturn your hands and spread your fingers really wide. As you lean into your back, you push and your gaze comes down. And then I pull into the front of the body. And I push into the back of my body. Breathing into the front and breathing out. Breathing in. Push and pull. Two more. And we push and pull. Notice how my throat stays above my pubic bone. So my bottom tucks under and I'm leaning into my bra line. Then I pull into my breast. So my heart opens. And then I push into the back of the body to finally stand in my legs. Hands come to the side. I take the arms out and I inhale to bring the arms above me, palms coming together. I cocoon my body, wrap my arms around me as I lean into the back and pull the hands down, to then stand in the legs and be centered. One more, please. Taking it up, palms together, the out breath leaning back to arrive and stand centered. So if we can now bring it onto the mat, bringing a certain amount of strength into this. So guys, please respect your boundaries with everything we're doing today, and take a position lying down on your backs with your hands by your side and your knees bent with your feet flat against the floor. Doesn't matter if you haven't got a mat, just a carpet or a little towel would be absolutely fine. But once you're there, I want you to just notice the ground beneath you. So making sure that you're very aware of the feet and their contact with the mat, the knees pointing directly to the ceiling. And when we were standing, I brought your attention to the very base of your spine, where we placed our hand. I mentioned the base of the skull, where we placed the other hand. I also mentioned the bra line, and those points of contact, I want you to try and notice them against the ground as you're lying here. And just give yourself a few moments to feel the contact of the body against the ground. We want a sense of a widening across the front of the body as the arms lengthen out and away from you. Inviting the breath in and hosting the breath out. So as you're here, you might notice where you have the contact of your body against the mat. You'll also maybe notice a sense of space under the lower back, a sense of space under the neck. And these are the natural curves of the spine, and we really need to respect those within the body. So always having a conversation with yourself, noticing the contact of the pubic of the tailbone, therefore your pubic bone stays down. Your ribs are soft, so we feel the contact of the back of the body. And the crown of the head lengthening away, your forehead parallel to the ceiling, so we can feel the very base of the skull against the mat. And then here, we're just going to start with a simple pelvic tilt. We bring the breath in, and as we breathe out, we just let the pelvis roll back so that the tailbone just peels off the mat. And then the pelvis comes back to center. We come a little higher. So we tilt the pelvis and we lift the tailbone and then the lower back. And then we roll back down to our center. Again, lifting your tailbone, your lower back, and the middle back. And then roll down back onto your mat, really lengthening out through the tailbone. Notice your feet, notice your knees as you stand in your feet tilt, lift your lower back, your middle back, and start to come up into our full bridge. And that's just, if you can, getting your knee, hip, and shoulder all in alignment. And we're just going to pause here for a moment, making sure our arms are lengthening away. And it's almost like I want you to feel like you're pulling on your feet so that your knees can go out in the opposite direction, creating a sense of space through the front of the hips. Then we keep those hips lifted as we then soften from the heart and then lift the heart back up. We soften the heart and move down towards the middle back and come up. We soften the heart and we come down through the middle and then towards the lower and then back. And then we soften the heart. It's like a sigh from the upper to the middle, down towards the lower. And then we inhale and we bring ourselves back to the bridge. All the way down this time, the breath out is like a sigh. as we soften down through the spine, all the way down, and feel your tailbone lengthen into your heels as you meet the mat, and pause. So we're going to take it back up into the bridge now. So the breath comes in, and we tilt from our tailbone, lower, middle, and upper. Let the hips open, and again that feeling of the knees pulling towards the front of the room. I let my right hip, I keep my right hip high as I let my left hip lower, and then push through my left foot to lift it. My right hip lowers, and then I stand up. My left hip lowers, and then I stand. Good. Right hip down. So it's almost like I've got sand on my hips, and I'm just going to let the sand pour off the side. Comes up. Stand off the other side. And comes up. Do that one more time each side. Lowering and lifting. Lowering and lifting. Then the hips stay there. And I'm going to let my arms widen. Now bring your attention to the sides of your body. So we're going to move our ribs into the side. I want you to imagine you've got a glass of water on each side of your hips, yeah? With 2 glasses of water. So as we move to the side, we want to keep those hips balanced. And we're just transferring into the sides of the body. Just exploring the space at the side of you. Noticing your hips, noticing your ribs. And I'm using my feet to send me across. Using the feet to move. And go to the side. And then just come down a little bit. Go to the other side. And move down. To the other side. And move down. The other side. And move down. Until you find yourself back onto the mat. Then we bring our ankles and our knees together. My arms are extended out to the side. And I cross my right leg all the way over my left. So my knees are together and I feel this connection through my inner thighs. Just be here again. Now the arms are out to the side and I'm going to use my right side of the body, my right leg, to pull my knees across to the right side of the room. My left shoulder stays down as much as I can. Then I use my left side to draw me back to center. So now my left knee brings me across to the left, my right shoulder stays down. Now notice this whole right side of your body. This is where the movement begins, from your shoulder to your ribs, to your waistline, your hip, and then the knees come center. Let's go to the right, knees going across. And then now it's this left side of my body. I draw back through that left side. My knees arrive center. Let's do that one more each side. Knees going to the left. And now it's the right side of my body that draws me back to center. Knees go to the right. And now the left side of my body draws me back. And my knees come back to center. Let's cross the legs the other way. So just center yourselves again. The left knee over the right knee, connecting with your inner thighs. Just allow your back ribs to be heavy and the neck to be long. And use your left knee now to pull your knees over. Allow that right shoulder to be anchored down. The right side of my body draws me back right the way through that side till the knees come center. We go to the right, and my left side stays down on the shoulder. So if we notice that length, that opening through that left side. But then it's the left side that starts the movement to bring me back to center. Just one more each side. The knees moving across, opening out. Then draw down through that right side to find the center. Let's go to the right. And there we can inhale. And that out pulls us back to the center. I bring the hands back to the side and uncross the legs. So just starting to just wake up some of the muscles that are kind of feel need a little bit of waking up when we've sat down for long periods of time. First one, the glutes. So we're just going to take a little moment to just waken them up a little bit. So we start with our bridge and we tilt back from the tailbone, lower back, middle back, and we lift our hips. Again, we're looking for that line through the body, from the knees to the hip to the shoulder. It's very easy sometimes to kind of overextend here, so you still need that feeling of the ribs being soft and the knees drawing that way. So I've always got a little pull on my heels to keep that opening through the front of my body. Then I just bring my knees together. I squeeze and then I release them back. I squeeze the knees and I come center. Squeeze and back to parallel. So the knees squeeze and back to parallel. Knees squeeze and back to parallel. Just give me 4 more there. Make sure those hips stay lifted and they stay nice and quiet. Yep, squeezing in and center, in and center, in and back to parallel. Well done. Now I'd like to see if you can just pull the front of your feet up off the floor. So the heels stay down and we draw the toes up towards the shins. Then we place them down again. Pull the toes up and place them down. Pull them up, these hips stay high, and as I lift my toes, I think about my sitting bones just coming together and down. Again, lift and lower, and lift and lower, and lift and lower. So the next one's a little bit trickier. We're going to see if we can pick one foot off the floor and pop it down. Then the other foot comes up and we pop it down. So the hips stay nice and level as we ask one leg to lift up. Now, if you find that you're not able to keep those hips parallel, just lift a heel. Keep the toe in touch. Let's do 4 more. Down and 3. Down, 2, down and 1. Pop it down. Then your hands, you're going to turn your palms and reach your arms up to the ceiling. Send them into the space behind you and then reach them away. Then with a sigh, let your heart come down, your ribs come down and lengthen away with your tailbone until your tailbone's all the way back onto the floor. Lift your arms over and bring them back to your side. So now I'd like to take you onto your side. So just turn onto, I don't mind which side you're doing, we're going to do both. So we're going to bring our head down and support the head on the arm. Okay, and the knees are going to be bent slightly in front of you, like a 90-degree angle at the knees. And it's quite important that we notice the waistline underneath us. So from here, I feel like this hip is drawing away. My waistline is lifted. Now, if you have trouble with this arm being underneath your head here, then maybe grab a cushion and have the cushion and the arm can come in front of you again. But ideally, you've got the head supported on the arm, the knees are in front of you, and they're at 90 degrees. The top hand can place on the floor in front of you. Just watch this shoulder here. Try and encourage that to stay down and away from your ears. Simply now we just lift that top leg up and then we pop it down. I want you, as you lift this leg, it almost feels like this thigh bone is being pulled away and lower. And we lift and we lower. And we lift and we lower and we lift and we lower. We're going to do 4 more, lifting 4 and 3 and 2 and hold it up there and give me some little pulses, lifting, lifting, good, just as high as you feel you can without losing that length in your waist. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. Then bring the leg all the way down and lift that leg all the way back up again. bringing it down and lifting it up, bringing it down and lifting up, bringing it down and lifting up. Two more, down, and we lift that knee. Bring it down and we lift. Now we keep the knee high, and then I bring my toe down to tap my ankle. I then bring my knee down to tap my knee. So I have this opening and lowering of the knee. Open and lower. Open and lower. So toe to ankle, knee to knee. 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 Toe to ankle and stay there. Pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now knee to knee and 10, 9. Make sure that breath is always coming into the body. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can let that leg come down and have a little rest there. Really well done. So hopefully you started to feel some work coming into those deep pelvic rotators. Really important for stabilising the spine, but also just generally for good strong postural muscles. So that arm now on the other side, we spin around. Just give you a moment to set yourselves up. The knees are in the front. This top hip moving away, so allowing that waistline to lift up. Having the head supported on the arms, that lovely 90-degree angle in front of you. Just have a moment. Top shoulders relaxed, head is on the arm underneath, maybe a cushion if you need a little bit more support. We're going to do exactly the same on this side. So thinking of that top leg to begin with, we lift the leg up and down, lifting up and down. Again, opening. And I don't want you to open too wide, so try and keep these hips sort of facing forwards, so we're not rolling back. The knee opens just as wide as is right for you. Okay, you might even notice that the other side might feel slightly different to this side, and that's very normal as well. Lifting, lowering, lifting, lowering, lifting. And ready for those pulses. 10 pulses here. 10, 9, 8, 7, good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now the ones down, and then lift them as high as you can without rolling back. Yeah, and again, down, and lift, down, and lift, down, and lift, down, and lift. 4 more, down, and lift, down. Last 2 for me. Keep going if you can. But if you need to rest, by all means do, but make it brief. Come back to me when you can. Now the knee comes down, and then the toe taps the ankle. Knee to knee, lifting the foot, and then lifting the knee, the toe taps. So we've got this internal and external rotation in the hip. Down, and open, and tap, and open, and tap, and open, and tap, and open. 2 more, tap, and open. 1 more, tap. Stay with the knee open. Pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep breathing. We are nearly there. Let's bring the knee to knee. Keep that foot high and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Wonderful. Very good work, guys. Well done. So from here, I'd like to get you onto your hands and knees. Again, just thinking about movement of the spine. And that's really what we're looking to achieve in today's class, is just getting us moving and opening into those tight areas of the body. So if you can come up and bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. So a rule that I kind of like to stick to as much as, well, generally, is that whatever's in touch with the ground, we can use that to push against. Okay, so here I can feel the front of my shins against the mat, my hands. So I'm going to push down into my hands and down into my shins. And this is going to give me a sense of width across the back of my back. My ears in line with the shoulders. I then push down, and as I push, my tailbone comes underneath me. My bra line lifts to the ceiling. My head comes down, and I look towards my navel. I then start to move out of that cat arch, and I move into extension. So my tailbone is now lifting, and my heart and my gaze come forward. I push down into my shins, down into my hands, and I exhale to lift and open across my back. Then I inhale, my elbows soften, and I kind of almost draw my chest and my gaze forwards. Little pull on the hands to open into the front of the body. Breathing out to round, curl, and lift into the back of the body. Breathing in to soften and move into the front of the body. Breathing out one more time. Let the breath out as you rise. And soften. Bring the breath in as you open. Now we push down, we grow, and we lift into the back of the body. But this time I start to shift my weight back, moving towards the space behind me. I then just soften and I bring my body forwards and up. So think of where your eyes are. As you round, you're going to look towards your tummy and lean into the space behind you. Your gaze travels across the floor and up the wall in front of you. Breathing out, these are our waves. We're leaning into the back. And then we're growing into the front of the body. We do that one more time. The breath out to lean into the back. The breath in to draw into the front. Wonderful. Now find that center. Again, hands under the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. So I'm going to turn this way, because this one might help. We're going to do a little bit of movement for the thoracic spine, that middle back. So here I'm going to ask your right hand to turn in, so the fingers are pointing inwards. I turn the left palm up, and I look to my right as I feed that left hand underneath me. I reach across. Then I come up. Now both hands stay forward again. Keeping my hips directly above the knees, my left fingers come up, so I'm going to push with the heel of my hand. So it might be easier for me to face this way for this one. Notice where my hips are. As I send the heel of my hand away, I bring my chest down to the floor. So I'm leaning into my armpit and lifting my tailbone. I then come up, hands back under my shoulders. Then my right fingers turn in again. And this time the left palm turns up, but the fingers are facing away from me. This elbow, almost like it's being pulled to the side, I turn, I look, and I reach away. I come up and center. So we're going to do it all on the other side. So my left fingers turn in, my right hand goes under, and I turn to look in that direction. Coming up, fingers forwards, right heel of the hand pushes away as my tail stays up, and knees open, hips over the knees, coming forwards. Right fingers turn in again. Left finger turns up, and we move away. So I don't alongside that side, and we move across to the right. Bringing us up, and our hands back to center. So from here, this combination is a little bit about balance, because balance is really important and it's a skill that we get better at the more we practice. So please, just depending on where you are now, just respect your boundaries, and yeah, if you're feeling a little bit unbalanced with any of this, then we can just modify and show you some modifications. So from here, we're just going to curl up like we just did, moving into the back of your body. And as you come forwards, lifting, just straighten your right leg behind you. Yeah, and have the toe tucked under. Then, with the toe tucked under, just push the heel away so you get this sense of length through the calf, sending that energy out through that straight leg. And once you're there, what I'd like you to do is bring your right leg out to the side of you, so it's roughly in line with the hip. I then push down into my left hand, lift my right hand, and I turn, and I inhale. Then this hand comes down and comes under the shoulder. Part two, the leg comes round, all the way around to the left side, so it goes past that left foot. My left hand then lifts, yeah, and you turn just where you can get to, just see where you can go. Then that hand comes down. So this is where it gets a little bit trickier. We're going to turn onto the right foot, and I lift my right hand, and I look up to the ceiling, and I extend that arm. So it's just a lovely front line opening here. Bringing the right arm back and down and onto your hands and knees. So I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to do it all on the other side now. So we curl our spine up and we round back. As we come forward to that beautiful wave-like movement, the left leg goes back, it's straight and the toes tucked underneath, ready for that little calf stretch. Push back through that heel. Then come back to the center. Send the left leg out to the side and then lift your left arm up as you turn your heart and your gaze to the ceiling. There we go with that breath. The hand comes down underneath the shoulder. Left leg round to the right. Pick up your right arm. A little twist, spiral. The hand comes down. Move on to the right hand as your left foot. You come onto the top of the foot and you unravel to open up there. Then that hand comes down. You sit back on your heels and you rest there for a moment. Really well done, guys. That's a lovely sequence from the Garuda Foundation mat work. And it really is working on kind of the lines of the body, the fascial lines, just to get us moving, thinking of the body more as a three-dimensional object, moving across the body to the front and the back. So lots of wonderful movements involved in that sequence. So now something that's probably a little bit more familiar to many of you. We're going to lay on our backs and we're going to bring some thigh to the belly. So a little bit of abdominal work. So with our feet grounded, like we started, knees to the ceiling, noticing the back line of the body, so the tailbone, the middle back, the base of the skull. Bring your hands above your chest, link your fingers, and pull your hands. If you're trying to pull your hands apart, you won't let them. So you're trying to pull so that my elbows are being pulled to the outside edges of the room. But just notice what happens in the back as you do that. It's the same. You want to feel that your shoulder blades are kind of being drawn to the outside of your rib cage. Then those hands come behind and they stay linked and they go at the very base of your skull. I then bring my elbows around so I can just see them in my peripheral vision. And I breathe in. On my out breath, keeping my pubic bone down, I curl up and I'm leaning into my breastbone here and my tail stays down. I pause when I've lifted, breathe in. And then I breathe out, I come a little bit deeper into my curl, and then I lay my head down. And we repeat that sequence again. Breathing out to curl up, then I pause, breathe in, then I deepen my curl, and then the head and the shoulders come down. Breathing out to curl up, pause to breathe in, breathing out to come deeper, head and shoulders come down. Adding in, breathing out to come up, slide the right leg across the floor. Draw the leg in as you deepen your curl, head and shoulders come down. Breathing out to come up, and that left leg goes out. It comes in as you grow deeper into your abdominals, head and shoulders down. One more time, exactly the same. Out breath to rise, looking towards your navel. In breath, the leg stretches out. Draw the leg in and deepen your curl, then pop the head and shoulders down. Exhale and curl up, excuse me. Send that left leg out long. Draw it back and deepen your curl. Head and shoulders come down. So now we lift the head and the shoulders as we gaze to the navel. And now trying to maintain those natural curves of the spine that we spoke about earlier. So thinking of keeping your ribs and your pelvis, that distance the same. I'd like you to lift one leg up, then pop your head down, and then pop the foot down. Breathing out to lift, then lift up one foot, then pop your head down, and then pop the foot down. Notice I'm only lifting the foot an inch or two. Taking it up. Now you can lift both feet if you like, but just make sure that if you lift both feet, the back doesn't start to arch. We then pop the head back down and the feet down. So please choose whether you do one or both feet. It's absolutely fine, or maybe no feet. Just keep it simple. Breathing out to curl up. Then we hold the foot, the feet all one. Then we put the head back down, and then the feet down. 3 more times. Lifting on the out breath, the feet on the in, head controls, feet down. Again, lifting, then the feet, then the head, and then the feet. Wonderful. So let's take the arms back out to the side and bring those knees back together again. We're going to progress the movement that we did earlier. So from our hip rolls, so let's cross the right leg over the left, and we hold those inner thighs together. So from here, as we did earlier, I'm going to ask you to move your knees to the left. Let them go there. Now, your right hand is going to come down. It's going to come to your hip. And as that happens, roll onto your shoulder and continue to circle that arm in front of you and then behind you. And it's when it's above your head, I'm going to ask you to just feel like you're lifting into those ribs. Then the arm continues to go back as you soften back onto your ribs. Then your waist and your hip come back and you arrive center. We're going to the other side. So we move the knees across and roll onto the right shoulder. The left hand comes down in front of you. It reaches over your head and you find space there, lifting. Then the arm continues to circle round and you finish on your back again and arrive center. Let's cross the legs the other way. So the legs come round now. I have my left leg on top. If you started with your left, then obviously you should have your right side there now. And we're just finding that position. This is our center position. I notice my back ribs, the wideness across my collarbones, and the length through the back of my neck. My knees go to the left side and I roll onto my left shoulder. The right hand comes down past my hip, comes in front of me and circles above my head. I reach to find a bit more space as I circle my arm around. I unravel all the way back to my center. Let's go to the right knee across, moving onto the right shoulder. Left hand down, comes in front, over the head, reaching, and then softening back onto your backs. And right center. Let's uncross the legs and send the legs out nice and long. If you're not comfortable with the legs out straight for any reason, then by all means, whatever position feels right for you. So you might have one knee bent, you might have both knees bent. You might choose to sit up, but I'm just going to take you through a really short breathing exercise. So from here, just invite the breath in. And see if we can invite the breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Please don't worry if that doesn't feel right for you. There's no law with the breath. It's just what feels comfortable. But I might cue in through the nose and out through the mouth because that's what feels right for me. But when the breath comes in, I want you to notice where the breath's going and invite the breath into your abdomen. Maybe place one hand on the abdomen so you get feedback, and the other hand may be against your chest. Inhale to the hands. And hosting the breath out. Again, breathing in to fill the body with your breath through your abdomen, your ribs, and your chest. As you release the breath, feel the softness in your heart. The heart's almost sinking behind the shoulder blades, down, and feel that natural drawing back of the navel to the back of the body. And you'll feel the abdominals moving away from your hand. And then the breath comes in again. And host that breath out with a sigh. Think of your in-breath as the beginning of a smile, the energy it creates, and a sigh as we let the breath out. Breathe in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then pause, 2, and 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pause, 2, 1. Breathe in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pause for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale on 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pause, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4. Exhale, 6. Hold for 3. And breathe your natural breath. Well done. And thank you so much for joining me today. Please let me know where you have joined from. It'd be great to see. And also, I'd just like to thank the perfume shop for allowing me to come to teach for you today. I'm going to come back on Wednesday the 29th, so in a fortnight. Next week, for Wellness Wednesday, the perfume shop will have a virtual yoga class for you. So please do come back and joining the yoga session, and I look forward to seeing you on the 29th, same time, noon on the 29th. Thank you guys, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you've enjoyed the session. All the best.